Whether you chose the hot girl life or the hot girl life chose you, there are rules and regulations to this life that you should know if you want to continue wielding power and influence in a harmonious way for your social status. Okay. So buckle up. Tonight is all about the politics of being hot, what every hot girl needs to know to maximize her ROI on the investment that she has given herself or what she was kind of born into. There is no use in being hot if you don't know how to wield it, okay? The reason why this course is called The Politics of Being Hot is because it is about social status, social hierarchy, systems of power, how to move as a person of influence, okay? When you are beautiful, when you have beauty, you have influence, okay? And a lot of girls focus on getting hot, staying hot, increasing their hotness, all totally valid. I could make courses on every single one of them. It is really important to understand how to work with the power that you now have as a hot person. Otherwise, you're going to experience instances like what we're seeing right now with Talia Brewer, our muse for tonight. Talia recently took the internet by storm by talking about how she is the beauty standard, how she is so pretty, how she's getting so much attention from all these different guys, and she's very intimidated by it and uncomfortable with it. Things like this are dead giveaways as to like the fact that you're not fully embodied in your hotness. We can't blame her. She is young. She is newly hot. We love her for it. The internet's always going to have a problem. People are always going to have a problem with you talking about your hotness or just with hot people in general. Love her. God bless. This is basically just, if you want to move with a little bit more tact and maybe not face such backlash. If you look at any person of power who is born into power, whether it's political or financial, let's say, kings or children of kings, for example, or in royal families, are taught like leadership training, are taught about politics and some social formalities to maintain their power status and harmonious relations within their country, with international relations, right? With economic power, a lot of heirs and heiresses to like massive fortunes are given rules and stipulations for what they have to accomplish before they actually come into this money, like finance degrees, like understanding how to work with money and maintain it so that they're not squandering the family wealth. It is very normal as a person of power to learn about power, okay? Baddies, for example, whose moms were baddies, are often gifted, passed down from generation to generation, how to move through the world, what beauty routines to do to maintain your beauty, how to do your makeup, things like that. They're kind of passed down from baddie to baddie. Politics is included in this, okay? And it's very important to understand if you are new to this life or if you are true to this life, okay? If the hot girl life chose you or if you chose the hot girl life, because the psychology is going to be completely different. And if you are new to this life, you're not going to understand how to move through the world as a baddie, okay? And that is like absolutely crucial. The best analogy I can give for what we're going to talk about tonight in the context of hotness is nouveau riche, okay? Nouveau riche versus old money. Old money has very specific rules in how they move in their circles, okay? And they have very specific ways that they talk about new money. For example, they'll call them gauche or modern or loud, right? This is because new money has no qualms about flashing their wealth, wearing logos, wearing like very loud colors and kind of just being a little bit more ostentatious with their wealth. The psychology behind this is they could be overcompensating. They could be overcompensating for deep lack that they feel more internally, unto themselves. Maybe they were raised broke or poor. Maybe they always wanted these things. Now that they have it, they're kind of overcompensating by being really overt with their wealth. Versus new money, if you're born into money, you don't feel the need to overcompensate for anything or compensate for anything because you have this innate inherent value, right? So this is just like the best kind of contrast that I could give. I personally think it's more fun to hang in new money circles, but like whatever, to each their own. It is the same kind of psychology with hotness, and you can distinctly tell the difference between a nouveau hot woman and kind of a woman who was born into this life and kind of gifted it from God himself. Also, as a disclaimer, okay, this is not about like fitting into old money or old beauty or like birthed beauty circles. This is about moving through the world to mitigate like the tension that you cause with other people, to honor your bigness, honor the gifts that you do have, but in a more tactful way. I'm of the mindset, I love a confident woman. I love women who know that they're beautiful, who know that they're that absolute itch. There's a way to know this and embody it without being in people's faces about it, okay? There's a way to embody this energy and even push the line of what we normally see in society that is still tasteful and is still honoring you and is not feeling like you're overcompensating or actually insecure under all of it. Because I will tell you, with actually beautiful women who are very secure and confident unto themselves, for me, it is a red flag if I sense any weakness or insecurity or overcompensation. I feel kind of weird around you and I don't want to let you in so much. So it's really important to clock these things in yourself so that you can work on them and maybe embody your hotness a little bit more and be able to move through the world to your highest potential. Okay. Number one dead giveaway is overcorrecting on attention. Okay. If you are new to this life, attention feels really good. Maybe you're not used to getting attention. Maybe you're not used to getting as much attention or attention by such like maybe higher caliber men or a higher volume of men. Women who are really embodied in their hotness and in their beauty, attention is like it's like a normal thing. You know what I'm saying? You're not so shaken every time you get it. It's not any statement on how attractive you are because you know that you're attractive. You have an internal confidence, an internal like knowing of exactly who you are. So when you receive this attention, it doesn't change anything. It's kind of like I know, not in an entitled way, but it's just kind of like it's validating a self-concept that you already have about yourself, you know? So whenever you're reacting in a really big way to getting attention, receiving attention, that's a dead giveaway that you're not really used to getting it. Okay. On the flip side of this, number two, validation seeking behavior. Okay. So this is like posting thirst traps, being very fleshy. I hate to say it. I mean, I'm all about baddies being their full baddie selves and everybody has their own lane. Girl, you do absolutely you, but there is something to be said about kind of like putting yourself on display and attention seeking behavior. It actually is like lower value activity. It means that in your mind you value yourself like less than maybe you should, especially if you're packing that much heat. So like the thirst traps, fleshy stuff, any attention seeking kind of behavior will signal that maybe you're either not used to this life, you might be a new hot girl, or you just have low self-esteem. And you know, any beautiful woman who has low self-esteem, like that's automatically a signal that something happened, which maybe you don't want people knowing about. So it's something just to clock within yourself. Okay. Number three is how you are speaking about yourself. Okay. So this really involves a high degree of tact. I'm all about women being like a little bit bratty and knowing that they're hot. I, for example, like am coming onto this YouTube video feeling like I have a degree of authority to speak on the topic of hotness. Okay. I'm doing this. I'm not saying anything about what I think about myself overtly. Okay. But I feel that I have some authority to, you know, own this kind of subject in what, you know, for whatever reason. This is a great example of something that's a little bit more tactful. I'm not directly saying it, it's actually what's unsaid, right? It's what's, you know, in the in between. It's like in the unspoken space. So this is kind of a good logic to kind of work on as a newly hot girl, because I would never get on camera and say, I am so hot. This is my roster. This is all the guys who give me attention, all of these things validating that I'm hot, or saying that I'm the beauty standard and this, and this. Like, I would never do that. It's kind of tacky. I think it's off-putting. It feels weird in my system. I don't feel like I have to prove anything to anyone. Everyone, I think, has two fucking eyes. Y'all can see for your damn selves. And I know if anyone were to say anything differently, like I know that you're like that's not the case, right? My YouTube comment section might say something different. I've had crazy, you know, comments, but this is, you know, another kind of point I'm going to make about the hotness, you know, projection, dealing with projection. But all to say, how you speak about yourself as a hot woman matters. Tact matters. And this is not about shrinking yourself. I'm not on here shrinking myself at all. I did a full beat. Like, I'm making sure I'm looking good and I know that I look good, but it is about just being a little bit tactful. Okay. If you feel the need to announce your hotness or quantify it, like you're not really embodied in it, you don't really know yourself. So you're overcompensating. You're feeling the need to convince other people because you don't really believe it yourself. Next item, this is a little bit more insidious and very, very obvious in my opinion, but it is competing with other women. okay competing with other women. If you are not used to getting attention or validation, or you feel that you were always like second or third hottest and, last in line or whatever, and all of a sudden you're like the most hot and you're getting so much attention, you might feel the need to like stunt on other women because all of a sudden you are wielding this power and you've actually like created this kind of complex. This is just what I've noticed with nouveau hot girls or girls who are not that hot, and then get a little bit of attention. It's like this weird competition thing and using their hotness to bring other women down. Okay. It's not cute. Really hot girls who are really secure unto themselves do not do this. Okay. They seek out other beautiful women who they feel safe and secure around, who lift them up, who make them hotter, versus who like tear them down or compete or do any like weird stuff. It's a dead giveaway. Okay. I've seen it multiple times. Okay. Next dead giveaway is leaning on your hotness entirely. Okay, making it your entire personality. Is it like a good chunk of my brand? Yeah, it is. Okay. But I consider myself a well-rounded individual. I know it's actually not even the most interesting thing about me. Okay. I don't feel like I'm leaning so far in the other direction and minimizing my hotness and going so far into the intellectual route so people take me seriously. I don't feel the need to do that either. Okay, another little thing that you might want to mind in this political game. But yeah, girls who lean too much on it, it's kind of it feels like a really weird energy. It feels like a little prosty, like selling yourself a little bit, like you don't actually have any other value in your own mind, but this thing that you've wanted for so long and now you have, or just it's like the most important thing to you. It's kind of like weird. I'll say weird energy. And I will go deeper in this last point, and that is like performing against the stereotype, right? So it's also a dead giveaway for me if this actually is more so, I think, found in women who were born hot, but who have faced a lot of bullying and projection from other women in their social circles. They feel the need to kind of overcompensate in the other direction and go so deeply into the intellectual pursuits, like tone down their outward appearance so that they're less threatening to other people, right? This is not communicating nouveau hotness, but it is communicating that you are putting other people before yourself, that you are valuing what other people like want from you or how to make other people safe before you're making yourself safe. And it is a sign of weakness, and it's a sign that people could potentially take advantage of you. And it's like a sign that you're not comfortable in your own skin. So I still don't want to be friends with you. Other hot girls who are very secure within themselves, like don't really want to be friends as much. Okay, now that we have gone through some dead giveaways about kind of misaligned hot girl psychology, ways that you are sacrificing your power and maybe pushing people away, what are the codes for really embodying this? Okay, what are hot girl codes that you can use to bolster your power? Okay, number one, your hotness is most powerful when it is fully embodied. Okay, when it is self-sourced, when you know who you are, when you know that you are that bitch. Okay. And you don't need to perform for anyone else. You don't need anyone else's validation, anyone else's attention. You're not seeking it. You're not weird when you get it. You just are wearing the damn thing. You are self-sourced with what you're wearing, with why you're wearing it. Okay. And people can feel that. That energy is very magnetic. It feels like you're comfortable in your skin. For example, I'm wearing this top. It's like a bit low cut. Okay. I styled it with this like lariat, like she cute. I'm not like out here like trying to be fleshy, like get your attention or being like suggestive or, there's like there's a way to wear cuts and clothes and colors, right? That can be very attention seeking, very kind of insecure behavior versus like a little bit more secure, grounded, embodied. So clock yourself on that. Number two, hot women are not your competition. They are your allies. Okay. Politics is all about building alliances, okay? It's all about being strategic and networking strategically. Other hot girls are going to open doors for you, okay? And also as you're coming into your own and your own security and your own like confidence, being around other hot women like will help your mindset. They'll help you feel safe and seen in, amongst other women. Like if you look at them like competition, you're going to be repelling them and pushing them away. So understanding that you're out here to build alliances, build strategic partnerships. That is a game changer. I'm personally a big believer in discretion, okay, with any power sphere, politics, economics, like whatever, like beauty included. You want to be discreet about who you're dating. You don't want to be posting screenshots. You don't want to be going crazy and telling everyone's business because, you're getting all this attention or dealing with higher level players. So discretion is really a part of the package, in my opinion. I talk about this one a lot, and it's really knowing your lane as a woman. I fell down a rabbit hole of stripper TikTok in 2017. You guys want any game on men or on beauty routines or even mindset stuff? Like those girls got to unlock. One of them said, I will never forget this, and it helped my own confidence so much. Sometimes you're never going to be the baddest bitch in the club, okay? Sometimes there's just a bad bitch in the club and she is the baddest and that is her lane and all the guys are going to want her and that's amazing. You have to understand what your lane is, okay? The tall blonde with like double D boobs who's like model skinny, whatever. If that is not your lane, it's not your lane. Maybe you're more like smaller, curvier. Maybe you also have more of a personality or whatever it is, but you have to know what your lane is, stick to your lane and maximize the hell out of that lane. That means letting the other girls have their lane, you're in your lane, you're mutually supporting each other's lanes. There's no weird vibes. It's just like a deep self-acceptance about where you lie in the lane game and what your personal brand of hotness is. You know what I'm saying? That men, for example, have all different types. We're not doing this like necessarily in a male-centric way, but men have all different types of women. Like you're someone's like perfect type. You know what I'm saying? There's no need to be weird and competitive. And like if it's the baddest bitch's time to shine, you're gonna let her. You're gonna support her and you're gonna take a seat wherever your lane is. And it's not gonna mean anything about your inherent value. It's just what it is. Lastly, and perhaps most nuanced, somewhat most importantly, I would say, is as a hot woman, you have to understand when other people are projecting onto you. Okay, this is going to happen way more than you would like to think. Talia Breyer is actually a great example of this. You had people from all across the world on the internet making deep analyses on why she wasn't beautiful and comparing her to other people. She made people so mad, okay? And it wasn't just because, in my opinion, she was not exercising a high degree of tact. It was because she looks a lot better than most people, and most people probably commenting. So when you're getting criticism, when you're getting hate, when you're getting weird comments, you have to understand the law of like human projection and that it's not about you, okay? Hot girls who internalize other people's stuff shrink and contract and get less hot and, do what we talked about before where they lean too far into different directions to not be so much of a threat. You must understand this and you must kind of take it as a compliment, okay? If people are projecting stuff onto you, which I think Talia has done a great job of, has really strong mental in that way, but you're not going to internalize anyone's weird projections, over you because you know who you are. You don't need anyone to tell you who you are or who you are not. This is like a fully embodied experience in and of yourself. People can say and do whatever they want. You know what's weird, you know what's not weird, you know what you're available for, what you're not available for, and that is that. It is my belief that any woman can change her mindset around her own confidence, her own self-esteem. So if this video did that for you, drop me a like and a comment below. Tell me your experience or a major breakthrough that you had. Also, let me know what video you want to see next in the Hot Girl University curriculum, okay? Love you so much. See you next time. Mwah!